Hi, Patrick here. It's time for Tubi Tuesday. So, for me and the Cheeto, for Tubi Tuesday, we are covering a series, a TV series that Tubi has on, and it's from 1982, and the series was called Tucker's Witch, which starred Tim Matheson and Catherine Hicks. We've already covered the first two episodes, so now we're in episode number 3. Now, Tucker's Witch aired in 1982. It only ran for 13 episodes due because of the ratings. So, but it's a fun show. You wish that it would have been picked up. Unfortunately, it was not, and but thanks to Tubi, that we get another chance to see the show, and for new people to discover it, which is always fun. So, like I said, this is episode number 3, and the format changed a little bit on with this episode. Let me read the synopsis first. It says, after an attempt on her husband's life, Debbie Shears leads Rick and Amanda on an investigation that reveals Debbie's husband has an entirely different life than previously known. So, the episode starts off with a little bit different twist. Whereas normally we see who the bad guy is for the episode in the first 30 seconds. In this time, we don't. All we see is a milkman coming in, and he's going to go inside the house with bad intentions, and then we hear gunshots, and then we get the opening credits. And when we do come back to the show, the man who we see with bad intentions, well, he's dead. So we don't know who the bad guy is, and so we have to follow the mystery. Um, so Larry Shear and his newlywed wife, Debbie, they're Rick and Amanda's neighbors, and so they step in and help him out. And there's a lot of twists and turns in this episode. Larry he seems to be living a double life for sure. He's not entirely being faithful or trusting with his wife to tell her the whole story, and it causes a little bit of a problem for Rick and Amanda, because it's hard to find out anything about Larry, and then when they do find out, it's not necessarily what they expect to find. There's some double crossing going on. Some double crossing. There's so one of the characters says not everything is what it seems, and so Rick and Amanda have to help their friends out, and of course this leads them right into the path of danger themselves, and but the bad guys get caught at the end, and it isn't what you expect it to be, and so it's a good episode. Um, I liked it a lot. I liked the format change where they didn't show the killer right off the bat, or the bad guy right off the bat. Uh, they they let the episode roll out there until until you about halfway through, maybe a little over halfway through, then you figure out who the bad guy really is. And what's really strange about this episode too is they sort of like they scale back Amanda's abilities. Amanda being the witch, and before the first two episodes, she's showing her abilities a little bit, but this episode they only did it a couple of times, and that was a little different too. It's almost like they were trying to back away from that aspect of it, and I don't necessarily think that worked. If anything, you would have liked to seen just her. If she does use her abilities, you would have liked to have seen her succeed just a little bit more. Not that she's coming relying on it, but because it is a show is based on Tucker's Witch, so you can't really just like scale back her abilities. Um, this episode had a nice guest cast to it. I think the one thing right off the bat, you had the core four. You had Tim and Catherine and Alfie Woodward and Barbara Barry. There were the four mains, plus their recurring, which was Lieutenant Fisk, who helped them out. But this episode had a little bit of star power to it. It had Lawrence Pressman in here. and he plays an FBI agent Fowler, and really good job by him. And I gotta admit, I have to say one thing about the fashions back then. The fashions back there in the '80s, they were pretty cool. Um, if you see the gentleman like working like Agent Fowler here, he had a suit with a vest on it. I mean, I forgot it's a sharp look. You don't see it very often anymore, but back then it looked pretty good. Uh, the fashions were really actually a standout on this episode. To tell you the truth, um, which again, I think they were trying to twist the show a little bit more to attract a little bit more of a female audience to it. Um, of course, Tim Matheson and Catherine Hicks, the chemistry they had as Rick and Amanda Tucker was really strong. It does remind you very much of Mr. and Mrs. North or Nick and Nora Charles, and it really you can sense the chemistry between the two of them, which was a lot of fun. So this episode was strong. It does have a mystery to it. A lot of twists and turns. Larry and Debbie are not who they seem, and so Rick and Amanda definitely had to come in there to save the day at the end. I like this episode. I thought it was actually one of the stronger ones I've seen so far of the three. I thought it definitely did. I thought the mystery was good. I thought the slight format change was good. And going forward, we'll see if they continue to use Amanda's abilities spartanly or will they increase the use of it. We'll find out starting in episode 4. Well, that's it for this. This is the 3rd episode of Tucker Switch. And we'll be back with next week with episode number 4. If you're new to the channel, please consider giving us a sub and hit the notification bell to let you know whenever we do something new. And more importantly, leave a comment down below. Love to hear your comments. We do answer them. And again, thanks for watching. And we will see you next week for episode 4 of Tucker's Witch. Yeah, thanks so much. Peace.